welcome back. And on today's news, it says Buhari came into government without tested programs. Elder statesman and the founding member of the Araba Consultative Forum, Alhaji Tanko Yakassai, shares his thoughts on restructuring, insecurity, and other national issues. The Senate advised the service chiefs earlier in the week to step down, owing to the rising of insecurity in the country. Do you think the service chiefs should go? And he replied and said, this action came as a result of continued public outcry. Nigerians have been crying and their representatives at the National Assembly have collectively decided to request the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, to take action. As a democratically elected president, I ask President Buhari to look into the cries of Nigerians and the cries of their representatives and do the needful. The second question says, earlier this year, you advocated a return to the 1963 Constitution as an important step towards restructuring the country. Do you think the government is looking in this direction? No. When I said I supported restructuring and a return to the 1963 Constitution, to be honest with you, I foresaw difficulties. This is because in going back to the 1963 Constitution, I discovered that it was a big mistake that the country was broken down into small states. It was unnecessary. From increasing the number of states, we went on to increasing the number of local governments. Unfortunately for Nigerians, the increase in number of states was about how to embezzle more public funds. So the more you create them, the more opportunities for those who are planning or looking for how to loot public funds. More states will mean more governors, more deputy governors, more secretaries to the state governments, more commissioners, and more local government chairmen. This is the reason why 70% of our revenue is spent on governance. It is just as if you are living in a house with 1,000 naira salary and 700 naira out of that money goes to payment of your guards, fuel generator, water, and others. From all the money made as a country, political office holders from national to local levels share 70% of it among themselves, while only about 30% get to the populace. So Nigerians are getting only about 10 to 15% of the revenue. This is the reason why no public or civil servant will get enough salary to take care of his or her family. This really speaks volumes because it is evident in the education system, the healthcare system, the housing system, the political system in Nigeria, because he just said 10 to 15% of the revenue is actually going back to the population of Nigeria, the citizens of Nigeria. That speaks volumes. And again, it made perfect sense and is very logical as to why the division and the making of so many states creates opportunities for the embezzlement of public funds. It totally makes sense because as there are more states, there are more commissioners, there are more governors, there are more deputy governors, and so many other things. The third question says, you said in 2019, Buhari did not need the Southwest anymore. Do you think that is the reason for the president's recent decisions in the APC, particularly his alleged withdrawal of support for Adams Oshomole as the party's national chairman and the APC national leader, Bola Tinubu? And he replied and said, the reason is that a mistake was made by the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo. Obasanjo made a mistake by making himself the leader of his political party, the PDP, and today Buhari is the leader of the APC. The president is elected to govern, so are the governors. Let them take care of the constitutional responsibilities assigned to them. But let the chairman of the political parties take care of the running of their political parties. That custom was where we started losing our way. Obasanjo became the leader of the PDP, the governors became the leaders in their respective states, and they didn't have time to attend to party matters. So the party becomes anybody's business, and the party men are doing whatever they want and waiting for the presidency or the president to bring the money. All they need is the money which they share and do whatever they like with it. The person who will be elected as the national chairman by the members of a political party is the man who should have the confidence and support of the party members. Since he was elected by members of the party, he would not do anything that will mark the interests of the members. Until you take power back to the members of the political party, there will always be a problem. It is a radical step, but sometimes when you are sick and the injection is given to you, it may pierce your skin. It will be painful, but you have to tolerate that in order to get well. So we have to take drastic measures. I'm glad that people like Prof. Atahiro Jega are now coming out to speak. I hope something will be done about the 3 years left. Actually, Buhari has only 2 years left. The third year is for campaigns and preparations for elections. He is not going to be a candidate. He has no vested interest in whoever emerges. Another question says, are you sure he will have no interest? And he replies and says, he may have, but it will not be as strong as when he was the one contesting. I don't want a coup because a coup has no guarantee of success. They, the military, come with beautiful pronouncements, but in 2-3 months they change. It was military rule that destroyed the country. If you look at the 3 regions we had, we were doing very well as a country. Another question says, the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum presently has a court case against the president over his alleged lopsided appointment that they claimed favored the North. What do you say to the issue of Buhari marginalizing other regions of the country? And replies saying, all of them are my friends. On the issue you raised that they went to court, what solution will it bring? What we need to do is query the fact that 85% of Nigeria's revenue is being shared among office holders at the federal, state, and local levels, and the money is not serving the interest of the majority of Nigerians. What we, the elderly people, should do is to advise and bring attention to such issues. How do we change the narrative and make majority of Nigerians benefit from the dividends of the governments? So to talk of appointments, just take the budget of the federal government and look at the person emoluments of the public funds of the public office holders. I was the Commissioner for Finance in Kano State for 3 years at a time when Kano State was the second richest state in Nigeria. There are also several daily expenses in the government office, and this is where the money is being expended. They have allowances for cars, rent, travels, and it is not up to half of what the personal emoluments are taking. The issue is, how do you get up to 50% of the money generated in Nigeria for the good of Nigerians in terms of building roads, electricity, and water supply, as well as other amenities that will directly benefit the lives of Nigerians? The reason why other countries are progressing but we are not, to change the situation for the better, you are now talking about going to court. You and I are Nigerians, and you know how many years the court process can take. The court will rule, and there is an appeal for whoever is not satisfied. And this goes on also for many years. And then there's the Supreme Court. The higher you go, the longer it becomes to get justice. At the time a final decision is taken, you may even lose the case. And during all these years, the government is making money from you as you are going to court. So this is the reason why I'm not excited about going to court. Therefore, we should direct our attention to how we can change the situation for the better. I respect people like Edwin Clark, Ayo Adebanjo, Solomon Asemota, and others to think of the hard issues that are facing the country. I'm not stopping them. They can go to court, but you and I know what court means in Nigeria. I know that some of them are lawyers and will not spend much money. But how many of us can be around in the next 3 years when Buhari's tenure is expected to end and someone else comes in? If we don't think of a credible alternative arrangement for Nigeria, we will be wasting our time. Buhari will go and another man will take over without a single program. Why is Buhari not making progress? He didn't come into office with a single program. That is why somebody as Jega was talking about the incompetence of the government and so on. We need somebody with competence and tested programs that are as clear as ABC. That program must be what the person will sell to the people to win their votes, not a situation where they will just be shouting Buhari, Buhari. Why? The military cannot solve our problems because they are responsible for the problems. Oh, they are for destruction then? That's what this interviewee asked. And he replied and says, Not that they came with an intention of destroying the country, but they have no experience and no plan to change the country. So what we need is somebody who will come with good programs. Check the United States of America. The greatest sector which employs and empowers people is the small and medium scale enterprises industry. If we do the same, people will get jobs. If we empower our people, they will generate income for the people. Then after that, the government must provide electricity. To me, the cheapest thing we can give our people is electricity. Another question says, in 5 years, why do you think this government has not delivered electricity satisfactorily to Nigerians? This is because they didn't have the program. Electricity is the most essential service, and if you don't have it, you can't industrialize. And when you cannot industrialize, you can't address the issues of unemployment, empowerment, and many other national challenges. So when the government does not plan for something, it cannot get it. It is a simple fact. They didn't plan for it and they cannot do it overnight. The bill is going up as I also pay in my house, and the supply is going down. That is the irony of the situation. It is a lose-lose affair. The country is not getting anything and we are paying more and more. As insecurity and banditry menace in the northern states continue to fester, the presidency has blamed some traditional rulers for the problem. Do you agree with the assertion that the monarchs are culpable? And he replies saying, let me tell you, as long as the government does not address the issue of unemployment and empower the youths, we can continue to shout at the top of our voices, but the problems of banditry and kidnapping will continue. The quickest way to solve the problem is to empower people. If people can work and get money, they are not going to steal. Stealing itself is not an easy job. It's a very risky business. You are afraid that you'll be arrested and so on. But there's nothing you can do. People tend to go to the greater evil, which is stealing, the only way for Nigeria to empower the people, and that will solve the problems of banditry and insecurity. And this person says, what about the increasing number of security personnel? Yes, they can also improve on the number of the police personnel and other security agencies. I don't support the creation of a local police. From what has been said, it has proven the point that Buhari did not come into government with a plan. Because if you came with a plan, then you would be able to get votes, which is a convincing way to give a line of action on what you're going to do that will benefit the people. Obviously, we know they're rigging elections, and that is basically how elections go in Nigeria. But for 85% of the revenue to be going into government levels from the highest to the lowest shows that there was no plan of action, and 10 to 50% is actually spent on the people, which has no tangible result. There hasn't been any reform or any huge change that has shown that the line of action that was planned is actually for the people. Because to be honest, the line of action that was planned was basically to come and steal money and also give way for hidden agendas to take place. The economical decisions that they are making, they're not going to face the repercussions of it because they're made for the generations and generations to come. They're making decisions that would affect Nigerians, and that is why it is very, very important for Nigerians to do their research and educate themselves on what the government can actually do for them before giving their vote. Put what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree that Buhari did not come into government with a program or a line of action? Do not forget to like and subscribe.